I've never had that before. Usually when I'm grumpy like that, it's because I stayed up too late or I got bad sleep.
Yeah.
But physical exhaustion, that like my body is tired, that's going to affect the dopamine in my head. But I guess that can also
They are finding that in some ways your brain and body are connected.
Okay, so let's record the intro now.
So what did Milkless? Because I think we start with the name.
Two dads, we love our kids, but then we also need them to know that we're like pretty cool and it's not like a wimpy podcast. So, hey, hey, Milkless.
Hey, welcome. Hey,
Milkless. Call the audience, Milkless. What's up, Milkless? Max coming at you.
What if that's it? That's our first take.
All right, Matt, today, When Equals Now episode, Thursday, August 22nd. Listen, I got something for you. I'm feeling better the last couple days, but for about 4 or 5 days, I was just exhausted. And I was kind of snapping at the kids. They were annoying the hell out of me. Everything they were doing was annoying me. My favorite people in the world, just like, I feel like they had to walk on eggshells with me. And it was like, I don't know, like I was getting decent sleep. So either it's like, I don't know, I was coming down with something, leukemia, possibly low T.
It sounds like, my guess is AIDS. I'm not a doctor, but it's it might be AIDS. I would just get it looked at.
I think we could go any number of ways on this episode at this point. We could talk about low T. We could talk about tiredness. I mean, here's the thing.
What do you attribute it to? Like, did they just get back in school?
They just got back in school. I had like one late night, and then I've been like riding and, working out a lot. I think maybe I was like overtired. But the thing that I just can't stand is when I'm just so annoyed by my kids. And I remember there was a couple days in there where I was just so annoyed by everything. Mm-hmm. And I'd start the mornings out fine, have the coffee. All right. And there's like normal dad. And then the minute afternoon rolls around, I'm just like, everybody's annoying. Everybody's, all the kids are annoying. Just every single part of it. And it's like,
when do they start school again?
They just started this week. They're back.
They just started this week. So this was leading up to them going back to school.
Yeah.
There is a dog days of summer thing, I think, man, towards the end of summer where it's like, we've all been around each other a whole lot, haven't we?
And we're just not in the routine, and every week has been different with camp, maybe. But also, it was more me. It was more like I was very tired or something. And then I could just feel that they were annoying me. And the thing that's tough is like, you got to stay there. What I really should do is like, hey, babe, I'm going to go lay down for a couple hours on a Saturday afternoon. But it's like, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Yeah, but it might be the more beneficial thing overall. I mean, I think if you have a system where both you and your partner are able to make that request when you're really fucking gassed, then I think that's a good thing. That's like being able to tap out when you don't have much in the tank. But it does feel like a big ask. Feels like a big ask. When you were in the middle of that like 3-4 day stretch where you're just pissed at your kids, were you aware even in the middle of it that it was you? Or was it like, these kids are happening at me?
No, it was me. And you know what? I think I managed it well. Like, I don't think they knew. I don't think I yelled at them once. I don't think I was actually short with them. But I did not like the feeling inside where I was like, my logical side knows that I would do anything for these kids. I love them so much. But I was just like, everything they were saying, it was annoying me. And I'm like, everything that they do is annoying. And then I remember thinking like, are all kids just like so annoying? All kids, so annoying. And then I'm like, are we just all pretending? And then now I think I've like snapped out of it and my empathy's back and I'm feeling better. And I'm like,
finish that sentence? Are we all just pretending we don't hate our kids?
Yeah, or like all kids.
All kids, all just children, generally.
They're all fucking annoying. And it was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, I've only done like mushrooms once, but like when you do mushrooms, it's like I was tripping and it was like you figure out things that, and then you don't know them anymore after or something. Do you know what I mean?
My experience, the reason I've liked mushrooms is I think you do know them still after.
Sort of, but like you go to a place and it's like, I'll never be able to explain this again. You're like,
yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, well, that's what I felt in that moment. I was like, oh my God, all these kids are so fucking annoying.
Uh-huh.
Because also I went to like birthday parties and I probably interacted with like 16 kids aged 4 to 10.
Yeah.
In like 3 days.
Well, you got OPK in there. Other people's kids is tricky because like they don't do things the way you do. You can't like how much can you fuss at them? That's like
it's just it's just tough that like. But then the minute I get to the other side, feeling better, well rested, 3 9-hour sleep nights in a row, I'm back to normal, and it's like, yeah, kids are great, love them, magic of life. I love watching their development. Oh my God, these little things are so funny and cute and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but there was like 3 or 4 days where I was just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like so needy, so annoying.
Yeah.
But it was probably they were picking up on my energy, even though I wasn't yelling at them, like maybe feeling less of a connection with dad. And then they hang on me more.
Yeah.
And then, one of our kids has got this new thing where he runs into me and he headbutts my stomach. And then it's like, and then they hang on me. And like, if I'm wearing a pocketed shirt, they'll put their hand up and grab the pocketed shirt and hang on it, hang on the neck of my shirt. And it's like, everybody's hanging on me all the time. And it was like kind of hot those 3 or 4 days. And then on the couch, they all want to be on top of me. And there's 3 kids on top of me. And I'm like, I'm hot. Get off of me. And then it's like, and I go to sleep and I'm like, I miss my kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the insanity of it all. Well, dude, like all this shit that you just described is frustrating. And I think you're also super right that like, their connection to you is so like important for kids. Like it feels like a matter of life and death for kids to be connected to their parents, basically. So it's like, if you're in a place where you're like, I can't handle this right now, they're just going to like cling for you more. They're going to fucking grab the pocket of your shirt, which is a drag because sometimes you really need space. But I do think you're right that that you being frustrated with them triggers them being more at you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't really have anything to point to, which is why I couldn't tap out. Like, it would have been easier if I had a sickness that was visible.
Yeah.
Like, or I'd stayed up till 2 a.m. I didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like maybe one night I stayed up till midnight or like 12:30, got 7 hours of sleep. It's like, I hate the fucking excuse like, oh, well, you're 40 now. That's what happens. It's like, I think it was maybe just the underground sickness, but I had nothing to point to. So I didn't feel like tapping out and just like, all right, I'm going to go take a 2-hour nap in the middle of a Saturday.
Yeah. Or like go for a hike by myself or something. Yeah. Well, I know what you mean. It's like, if you're sick, then you can be like, I'm sick. But I don't think there's anything super mysterious about like why you just get worn out by the day-to-day run of life with a lot of young kids and like eventually just need a break. I mean, yeah, there is that narrative of like, we're 40 now, this is what happens. But there's also like the amount of shit I have to do, and a lot of it like pretty physical versus when I was, 30. I do so much more now. I packed so much more into a day. So I'm more tired because I do more. Because in addition to all the things I used to do, or most of them, many of them, I also take care of kids that like to run. So I don't think there's anything weird about you being gassed.
No, but here's what I'd like to okay, you got something.
Well, it's funny, earlier you were talking about mushrooms, and this is something that actually I feel like I figured out. I used to go on these trips with these guys, and we'd eat mushrooms and go on a hike with music on. All listen to the same music. It was cool. And this was after my first kid was born. And I was like, I wasn't sure I was feeling it right yet as a dad. I mean, you talk about this all the time about like it, you know, you have this baby and it's supposed to be magical immediately, but out of the gate, there's a lot of things. It's just like, holy shit, this is not what I thought it was going to be like. Yeah. And like really beautiful in some ways and then just like not fun in some ways. But I was really stressing about this on this hike and I had eaten some mushrooms and then I kind of like, I was worrying that I was feeling it wrong. And then I suddenly had this realization that like, actually what's most important is, am I doing the things I need to do to take care of this kid? Like, would I do anything for them? Yeah. And it wasn't quite like, well, fuck my feelings, but it took some pressure off my experience of it so that if I was annoyed for a few days with my kids, it wasn't like, oh, I'm fucking this up because I'm not enjoying this right now. It's, you said yourself, you're like, I didn't yell at him. I'm sure like they notice on some level when you go through something like that, but you didn't let it like make you fly off the handle or be a super shitty parent. So I'm not saying fuck your feelings, and I get why that's unpleasant, but I also think it's nice to move, like kids move you out of the center of the universe in this way where you can be like, I'm not having a great time right now, but I'm still, things are good because everybody's taken care of.
I completely agree as a Monday morning quarterback, hindsight 2020, because right now I feel no shame. I feel great. I got it done. I didn't really lose it on the kids. I wasn't short with them, whatever. It was my own internal thing. The thing that was tough is I didn't know in the moment that I'd come out of it. You know what's weird? It's like, that's what I was trying to make the analogy to mushrooms. Like, it just felt like everything at that moment. Mm-hmm. And for those few days, I couldn't point to anything. I wasn't feeling that sick. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's like knowing your body better. And maybe as you get older, you start to understand things. I did a post for the Dad Bod Goes Pro thing one time about there's something called like blah, 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 low grade sickness or something where you never actually present with like runny nose, sore throat, but your white blood cells will be fighting like a fucking massive battle of epic proportions. And you just feel a little shitty. Mm-hmm. And maybe you need a little more sleep for those 3 or 4 days. Problem is I didn't know it until after. And then once I came out and felt better, must have beaten that sickness if that's what it was, then I'm like, oh, that was just a short period of time. In the moment, on the second day, the third day, I'm just fucking dragging. I'm just fucking tired. It just felt like forever, like it's always going to be that way. And then this is my new reality. And it's like I couldn't see that in a couple of days I'd probably feel better, and it was just temporary. Yeah. It's like everything felt so permanent.
Man, when I was probably when I was like a teenager, I've been lucky enough to never feel like what I would describe as depressed for a prolonged period of time. But I did at times feel that way in high school. And I remember what would scare me the most about it was when I was feeling that, even if I could rationally tell myself, well, I've felt this before and it usually doesn't last that long. I could tell myself that rationally, but there was this other part of me that was just like, no, right now, the way you feel right now, you finally have opened your eyes and seen the truth. Like, this is how it is. And
that's how the brain kind of works sometimes.
Yeah, but for some reason, when you start to feel better about things again, there's like that, your certainty of that other thing can still scare you. You know what I mean? Like your certainty in the moment of that other feeling, I think it can kind of lurk. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like the mushrooms thing. Like if you think you figured something out in this like weird state, like you remember it, like, oh, maybe that is true, blah, blah. But not for me though, because the normal me is so much more powerful and excited. And I can lean into that. But man, shit, it was intense where I had this realization that like all kids are just like intensely annoying. Yeah. And if you really look at it, like it reminds me of like skiing or mountain biking. If you're not attacking, like if you're not playing offense, you're going to fucking crash. Like if you're not leaning into life, if you're not attacking the mountain, you will just crash. And I think I didn't have the energy to parent for those few days. So I was like getting it done, going through the motions, but the mindset was not there.
Well, it's so the kind of the way you described what you feel like may have happened is that like maybe you were fighting off some kind of sickness, or maybe just for some inexplicable reason you were tired. And when you were tired, you started to feel all these things. I would wonder, because I've gone through similar periods like that. And I also ask myself, like maybe some of the things I'm feeling are actually preceding the physical sensation of them. Like I'm tired because I'm feeling this way. I'm like low energy because I'm feeling this way. And it's funny, man, you're like, what if the truth is that all kids are annoying? Yes, that's the truth. All young kids can be very annoying. They can. Like they do things that can make your life really hard. So like what if for like those few days you were just like really having to fucking sit with that, and probably you could have used a break, but you didn't have a physical thing to point to, so you're like, I don't deserve it. I don't know, you're just allowed to be fucking gassed.
Yeah. Yes, I believe that, but I think also what it may have been is I rode a mountain bike like 13 days in a row and then dug in the backyard 4 hours a day for 3 days. I wasn't sleepy tired, but maybe I overworked my 40-year-old body, and I don't like admitting that.
There's man reasons for this. I dug and I rode bicycles. I just exhausted my fucking body until finally.
But would physical exhaustion like that make you? I've never had that before. Usually when I'm grumpy like that, it's because I stayed up too late or I got bad sleep.
Yeah.
But physical exhaustion, that like my body is tired, that's going to affect the dopamine in my head. But I guess that can also.
They are finding that in some ways your brain and body are connected. Like they are. There's new research.
This episode is brought to you by us. Matt and Max, Milkless. We're self-funded, okay? So we spend hours a week making this for you. And if you like it, listen, we're not asking for money. We don't want you to put money in our Patreon or anything like that. But we are asking you right now, just tell a friend. Tell a friend about Milkless, because growth of the platform ensures that we're going to be able to keep doing it. So if you can pause this right now, text a buddy right now, hey, there's this awesome podcast, or, but be honest about it, like, I love the guy Max. He's so funny, but Matt, he's kind of like pretzels and Chex Mix. Just like filler.
Yeah, they're just there. Yeah.
But anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Anyway, pause this and text a friend about the podcast. It means so much to us. Thanks so much.
When should they do it, Max? When do they do it? They do it right now. When equals now. Okay, yeah. Fantastic. You fucking chill. I don't know why I'm giving you so much shit, man. It sounds like a rough couple of days.
No, it was fine. I still rode every day, rode mountain bike every day. It was fine. I just I couldn't believe that I couldn't come online.
Let's
play a game.
Super shitty feeling.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So then I taught my 4-year-old to play Go Fish because that was fun. But it was fun because I was teaching her something. Like I couldn't have done a sacrificial sort of thing.
But see, this is what I'm saying. It's like, you're like, I had this shitty couple of days. Anytime my kids asked me for anything, it pissed me off. So I taught my daughter a new game. It's like, fuck your feelings. You did it. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, fuck your feelings in the nicest possible way. Like, that despite that it is totally natural for you to have an experience like that. But the fact that you still showed up is I don't know. I just think it's not
Yeah. I'm still going to get tested for low T.
You probably have it. And AIDS.
Yeah. No, but I mean, low T could be, I like the idea of having low T take some TRT and see what happens. The only thing I don't want with the TRT is I don't want to be like, 17-year-old horny again. I'm kind of liking my libido right now. I can turn it on or off at will.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
What if I go and then they're like, yeah, you have low T, and then I have all this energy again and it's great. And maybe I do have low T. The only problem is like, I don't really want to be horny all the time.
I haven't like watched enough Joe Rogan to know, like, is low T, do we believe in low T? Is this snake oil 100%. Or is this real?
We believe it's real, but typically it happens, over 40, but more as you get older. Like if you're like 70 or something, it can, if you have like severely low T, it can be caused by a couple different things. I think like increased estrogen in your bloodstream, or like just low testosterone. It's a hormone that you need as a man, and
sure.
But
can I admit something embarrassing? There's some like legume or bean that has estrogen in it. Maybe it's soybeans.
Yeah.
And there was a while where I was just like consuming a lot of soybean products. And then there was just this moment I remember being at the grocery store and I picked it up and I looked at it and it was almost like I was looking at something like horrible for me. It's like, I can't put this in my body.
This could just be an urban legend, but like, somebody was, slamming like 3 cartons of soy milk a day. And after 10 years, like had total man boobs. So I feel like a little Joe Rogan-y right now, but, that, I think, if you Google it, we'll have to do the fact checking on it. But there is a protein in soybeans or soy milk that like mimics estrogen and will, attach to the things in the same way. But why not get tested for T? See where it's at. We test again when we're 50. We can see if it drops. You get a little bit of T and you get your energy back. There's all these firsthand accounts of people getting their testosterone back, feeling like
rather get tested for low T than admit that maybe your feelings showed up and influenced your physical
No, my main concern is that I've always had low T. I mean, it explains.
I have always wondered about that with you. What are you fucking talking about? What are you talking about? What makes you say? What? Because you were in musicals? Like, come on.
This episode of Milkweed is brought to you by Viola Archer in the case of the Purple Martin. Thank you.